Hello, this is Brad from SurvivalComms, and I just recently made a repair to this Arrow Antenna's shielded loop antenna. And the shielded loop antenna is a great little direction finding antenna, and again, this is for the 2-meter amateur band. The original RF connector for this antenna has been broken off, and our center pin is still attached, and we're going to go ahead and go inside of it, and you can see how one of these is constructed. So we open up our antenna by removing these 4 screws. So now we can look at the innards of our antenna, and you can see our RF connector shell here. We'll just remove that. We're going to replace our connector, and you can see that the antenna looks like a short. Now the antenna will measure a DC short, and the antenna itself is separated up here, and then this heat shrink on here is holding these 2 sections together. So let's go ahead and replace the connector. So replacing a connector on this is going to be no trouble at all. You just slide it in there just like you did as if you were going to terminate this, because they're using RG58 cable on this side of the antenna. Now when you get to this point here, we need to go ahead and seat this. So placing it like this and then pushing it down until it snaps. And we've now seated our center pin. Our center pin, the body of it or the base of it, should be even with the insulation, and this tip right here should be just rebated within the rest of the dielectric. Now place the top back on. Now when we tighten up our connector, we want to make sure that we work from opposite corners. So snug, 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 and then do our final tightening. And it's different than the other loops we've been studying because it nulls on the broad side and has stronger signals on the edges. So in studying this design, I don't see any reason why we can't make one of these out of a coax jumper, and I think that'd make a great little afternoon project. Let's get started. So the first thing you're going to need is just a coax jumper. This is just like RG58 size Teflon dielectric and Teflon jacketed coax. We've got 1 RF connector on there. We have plenty of cable here to build a couple of these if we desire to do so. The first thing we're going to have to do to our cable is we need to remove the outer insulation or the jacket, about a dimension of that, which is about 1/8 of an inch, and we need to make 2 circumferential cuts here and here and preserve our shield. And when completed, you should be presented with something like this. Next, we're going to want to tin our shield. When completed, you should be presented with something like this. Now measuring from the halfway point here, it doesn't have to be perfect. You're going to want to measure 10 1/4 inches, and you're going to want to make a mark in your jacket. Now at your mark here, you're going to want to take your razor knife and you're going to want to transect the shield, and you want this dimension to be smaller than the width of your cable. And once you do that, you want to make sure you cut through the shield but maintain the dielectric integrity. What you're doing is you're creating a discontinuity in the shield at this point. You may have to work at this for a little bit, but you can see here that what we're doing is we're just removing our shield again, creating a discontinuity at this junction. And when completed, this is what you should be presented with. A break in your shield while preserving the integrity of the center conductor. Now take your cable and where you made your break in the insulation and remove the shield, approximately halfway down. You're going to want to go ahead and measure out 10 3/4 inches and cut your cable off there. Now this step isn't required, but I'm going to go ahead and cover this with some heat shrink. Now I'm going to take 4 sections of heat shrink and slide them over here. Again, this isn't necessary. Just when we're completed with this loop, we can use these to form it. Now take the end that you cut and measure 1/2 inch and remove the jacket. Now go ahead and deconsolidate your shield. Once you've completed that, make a circumferential cut and remove your dielectric. Now you're not going to need all of this shield So to have less to solder to require less heat, I'm going to go ahead and remove half of the shield here. Now once that's completed, take your center conductor and wrap it around the body, and then take your shield, consolidate it again by twisting it together, and then wrap it around just like that. And now we're going to take and we're going to flow solder into this joint. Just like that. And when you're completed with that connection, this is what you should be presented with. Now we're going to use these sections of heat shrink to hold the loop in place in the four corners to make it more aesthetically pleasing to the eye. Well, here is our completed shielded loop antenna for the 2-meter band, and it's fairly rigid. Nice thing is if you drop this, you're not going to break it like this one had broken at the RF connector at some point, and it's a little bit bigger. Now, the important thing to remember with this antenna is that this is not a transmit capable antenna. You don't ever want to transmit into a shielded loop. Let's take our junk box parts shielded loop antenna and put it up head to head against our commercially available variant. Considering that our shielded loop is a reduced size, non-resonant antenna, I elected to use an FM broadcast signal as our source. We are looking at the center slice of their signal. The first antenna up is our control antenna, the arrow loop. This is our arrow loop on signal, and you can see the averaged power circled. The next slide is our arrow loop with the signal nulled and the reduction in averaged power. Now we are using our coax loop, and this slide shows our on-signal averaged power. And our next slide shows the decrease in averaged power when we place our test signal in a null. And let's do a demonstration with audio of that station we just looked at on the spectrum analyzer.
You mentioned technology.
That's our station in a null. And now to bring it out of the null.
Big picture for the countries where landmines are a part of reality.
And now we're all the way out of the null.
I'm an ex-soldier. I was a general in the British Army.
And now we're back nulled again. So you can see it doesn't take much
because I don't have a
movement at all
career on
to null that signal. And that's a strong signal. The field expedient coax constructed shielded loop performed well against our commercial example, and like so many things, antenna demonstrates that performance is based on concepts more than processes. Here are numerous examples of the shielded loop that I have produced here for testing, and they all exhibit the characteristic sharp nulls, and the reduction in loop size leads to a commensurate reduction in signal, which assists the end user in radio direction finding applications, as you will find in your experiments. This is a great afternoon project for the individual ham or a student, and as a group activity for a club or group, you will find it a worthwhile time investment in both theoretical and practical application. I hope this helps. This is Brett from SurvivalComms. Till next time.